En hier komt het eerste stukje. 3, 2, 1. Afgelopen week was Madonna voor het eerst in Nederland. En wel voor het afleggen van een promotiebezoek. De 22-jarige New Yorkse zangeres was niet alleen de meest populaire vrouwelijke disco-act van 1983, maar ook wist ze de 7e plaats in de Decibel Dance Top 100 over dat jaar te bereiken met haar debuut-LP. Vandaag bij de B wat extra aandacht voor haar en haar muziek. Het eerste wat Madonna vroegen was hoe ze aan een dergelijke artiestennaam is gekomen en hoe lang ze al bezig is met het opbouwen van haar carrière.
It's my real name.
Madonna Underground exclusive.
Named after my mother. As a singer, I've been recording for about a year and a half, but I've been building up my career since I'm 5 years old. I mean, when I was little, I wanted to be, a performer. I wanted to sing and dance and act and everything, so.
Madonna is haar eigen naam. Ze heet naar haar moeder en is van Italiaanse afkomst. Als zangeres neemt ze al platen op sinds 1982, maar ze beweert dat ze al sinds haar 15 jaar met een zekere carrière bezig is. Toen ze klein was, wist ze al heel goed dat ze zou gaan zingen en dansen. We vroegen Madonna wat ze allemaal gedaan heeft tot ze dat veelbelovende contract in handen heeft gekregen en Everybody haar eerste single verscheen.
Well, originally I'd come to New York as a professional dancer and I danced in a lot of companies.
Madonna Underground exclusive.
It wasn't fulfilling enough for me. I decided that I wanted to use my voice as well because I could sing. So I started going to auditions for musical theater. And I went to an audition for a singer named Patrick Hernandez who had a big hit called Born to Be Alive. It was like went gold or something. And he was looking for singers to sing background and dance in this worldwide tour that he was going to do. So I thought that would be a great way to start out in the music business. Plus I'd just get to keep dancing and I get to travel. So I went to the audition and his record label, Aquarius, saw me and they thought that I was too good to be behind him, and they said, we'll come to Paris and we'll make you a star, we'll give you a recording contract and take vocal lessons and we'll write music especially for you. And I thought that would be a great opportunity for me because I didn't know really what to do first. So I came to Paris and I lived there for 6
Madonna
months.
Underground exclusive.
And, they really treated me like a queen, and they said they were going to do everything they did what they said they were going to do, except that they were so busy promoting Patrick's record. They didn't really have time to sit down and say, what kind of music do you want to do? And so I was very, very, disappointed. I was very restless. I wanted to do something quick. So eventually I went back to, United States and went back to New York and found musicians that I met at a party or something, and I said, you've got to teach me how to play a musical instrument. I'd studied piano when I was little, but not enough, and I didn't really concentrate on it. So they had a band already, and it was called the Breakfast Club, really strange name, and they were playing in CBGBs and Maxes and stuff. And they said they needed a drummer. Could I play the drums? And I said, well, I can't right now, but if you give me 2 months, I'll be really good. So I got a drum set, and I started practicing every day really hard. And eventually I started off as a drummer in a band, okay? And meanwhile, they're teaching
Madonna
me
Underground exclusive
stuff on the side, and they had this little studio that I used to sneak into while they were at work every day and practice everything I could. So I was writing all these songs in secret, and every once in a while I'd get up the courage to play them for them and say, could I do this song, and they'd say, well, we don't need a singer, we just need a drummer. We're the singers of the group. So I begged them, finally they let me sing one song. And once I got a taste of that, I was not going to go and sit behind the drums anymore. And they didn't want another singer, so we kept fighting, and then I left the band.
Ze is enkele jaren geleden als danseres vanuit Detroit, haar geboorteplaats, naar New York gekomen, waar ze al snel als zodanig aan de bak kwam. Niet lang daarna wilde ze ook haar stem gaan gebruiken en ze ging alle audities af om een kans te wagen. Een van die audities werd georganiseerd door Patrick Hernandez, die we in Nederland kennen van zijn nummer 1 hit in 1979, Born to Be Alive. Al snel vond men haar te goed voor Patrick en wordt Madonna verzocht zich te melden bij het hoofdkantoor van zijn platenmaatschappij Aquarius in
Madonna
Parijs.
Underground exclusive.
Speciaal met Madonna gaan bezighouden. Ze is 6 maanden in Parijs geweest, tot ze tot de conclusie kwam dat daar toch meer aandacht aan Patrick werd geschonken dan aan haar. Ze ging vrij gedesillusioneerd terug naar de Big Apple en kwam daar op een feestje jongens bezig die muziek maakten in een garage. Ze noemde zich de Breakfast Club en ze traden geregeld op in CBGB's en Maxis, 2 disco's in New York. Ze hadden een drummer nodig en vroeg haar of ze binnen 2 maanden drums kon spelen. Daar kreeg Madonna prompt een drumkit en na veel oefenen leerde ze zowaar ook gitaar spelen en het bedienen van de keyboards van deze jongens. Ze had ondertussen wat songs geschreven stiekem en ze vroeg of ze ook eens een keertje mocht zingen. Ze mocht met veel moeite dan 1 nummer doen en had toen meteen genoeg van het drummen en wou alleen nog maar zingen. Maar dat kon niet natuurlijk, want de band had zijn eigen zangers en er ontstond wat heibel. Daar ging Madonna weer. We hoorden een fragment van Burnin' Up, Madonna's tweede single. We gaan verder met haar succesverhaal.
I got my own band together, and I got a bass player and a drummer, and we did the same circuit.
Madonna
downtown
Underground
clubs where you
exclusive.
didn't get any money, and nobody really gave a shit about you. So, so anyway, so I'm playing all these gigs, and I meet this manager who's says, you know, you don't have to do this anymore. I'm gonna get you really good musicians. I'll pay them to play with you. I own a rehearsal studio, so you can write all your music there. I'll pay your rent so you don't have to live in a studio with 5 smelly boys. And, you know, she was like gonna save me. So that worked out really well until I decided, or we couldn't decide on the direction that I wanted to go in, and she wanted to promote me more. She wanted me to be more like Pat Benatar.
Madonna
like,
Underground exclusive.
That kind of music, really sort of, you know, new wave or rock or whatever you want to call it. I really don't know what labels are anymore, but and I was writing really funky stuff, and she said, you can't do that, you're not black, you can't sing that way, how are we going to promote you as a, you know, with black music if you're white? And I said, look, you can't tell me what to do, and this is the way I'm developing as an artist, and you can't stop that, and I can't change for you. You're my manager, you're supposed to do what I want to do. So we split up, and there went everything. There were my studio and my instruments and the house that I lived in, and my musicians, so I was on the street again with nothing.
Madonna Underground exclusive.
Formeerde Madonna haar eigen band en ze trad op in het clubcircuit in Hartje Manhattan. Een periode waarin ze amper geld had. Toen ze plotseling een vrouwelijke manager ontmoette, leek het wel of de hele wereld veranderde. Deze beloofde haar namelijk gouden bergen, goede muzici, opnamefaciliteiten en een eigen huis. Haast te mooi om waar te zijn. Het ging heel goed met Madonna, totdat ze in de gaten kreeg dat ze hoe langer hoe meer gepusht werd in de richting van Pat Benatar en Debbie Harry, terwijl ze zelf funky nummers schreef. De manager zei dat Madonna een blanke artieste was die niet te verkopen was met zwarte muziek. Daar Madonna vond dat de manager moest doen wat in het belang was van de artiest, pakte ze maar weer haar spulletjes in en ging ze weer. Weg waren de mooie beloften.
Madonna Underground exclusive.
Luister naar Physical Attraction. Nadat je die manager kwijt was, vroegen we aan Madonna, ben je toen ook de band waarmee je toen optrad kwijtgeraakt?
The drummer in the band stayed with me, and he was this guy that I knew from Detroit. He was a jazz musician, so he had a lot of musical training, and he could write music and play every instrument. So he had been playing with a lot of different groups, and he had the keys to a lot of rehearsal studios. So what we did, we went back late at night, we'd go back to these studios where they had 4-track and 8-track recording things, and we'd made our own demo tape on our own, like at 3 o'clock in the morning. We'd go there every night. And finally, we finished a tape, 4 songs, and we played between the two of us, all the instruments on it, and I did all the singing, we wrote the songs together.
Madonna Underground exclusive.
And that was the tape that I got my record deal on. Everybody was on that tape. And what I did with the tape is I wasn't going to go to record labels and go to A&R people, because I know they never listen to all the tapes, because everyone brings in tapes, they just throw them in a corner. So I went to clubs, discotheques, where the DJ, and hung out in the DJ booths, because I know that A&R men from record labels go there and they bring their new records for the DJ to play. So I knew if I hung out there long enough I could meet the right people. So I started to be friendly with the DJ at Danceteria. And I said, one day I got the courage to tell him I had a tape. Everyone says that to him, but he really liked me, so he played it, you know, with the headphones on, so the club couldn't hear it, and he liked it. So then he turned it up in the club, and everybody kept dancing to it. So everyone was really impressed, and it was just my luck that an A&R man from Sire, Warner Brothers, was there. And he said,
Madonna Underground exclusive.
I got a record deal.
Alleen de drummer die Madonna nog kende uit Detroit bleef bij haar en leerde haar nog veel meer dan ze tot nu toe wist. Hij kon, zo zegt Madonna, elk instrument bespelen. Hij had de goede contacten en kennis die studio's hadden. Ze gingen dan ook vaak 's nachts muziek maken in die studio's en uiteindelijk namen ze hun eigen demo-tape op met 4 nummers waarop ze zelf alle muziek bij elkaar speelden en geschreven hadden en Madonna de vocalen verzorgde. Op die tape stond dus ook Everybody, haar eerste single, en toen kwam het slimme. Ze ging niet naar de platenmaatschappij om haar demo aan de man te brengen, omdat ze daar toch al duizenden bandjes krijgen en ze toch niet beluisteren. Nee, Madonna ging de disco's af en probeerde overal goede maatjes te worden met de DJ's. Omdat veel talentenzoekers van de platenfirma's de DJ's in de clubs in Amerika polden. En zo kreeg ze het op een gegeven moment voor elkaar, de DJ van Dance
Madonna Underground exclusive.
Dat de demo een keer in de disco draaide en die daar de dansvloer was gevuld. Iedereen was diep onder de indruk van Madonna. En ja, ook heel toevallig, er was iemand van Sire Records. En daar was het plaatcontract. Lucky Star, een van de meest gedraaide platen afgelopen zomer met Decibel. Daarna kwam Holiday. Waarom duurde het toch zo lang voordat daarmee echt de doorbraak kwam? De plaat staat nu pas in de Amerikaanse top 20 en is deze week ook binnengekomen in de Engelse top 40.
Because Warner Brothers was just a disco artist, and they don't really pay that much attention to dance artists because dance or disco artists have a reputation of making one record and disappearing forever. And they didn't know that I really was going to grow and had an image and, something for them to, put their money into, promote.
Madonna
and
Underground
it wasn't until
exclusive.
I had 3 songs that went to the top of the charts and the dance charts in America that they said, well, maybe we should pay attention to this. And as soon as they because I was getting all my success just by word of mouth. My record company didn't do anything. It was just DJs that did my stuff. So finally, once they got into promoting it, it crossed immediately to the R&B charts and the pop charts. So it's in every chart with the country and western charts. So that's why it took so long. But
de platenmaatschappij dacht dat Madonna gewoon een echte disco-artiest was. Zo van 1 keer een plaat en dan nooit meer iets van horen. Normaal zijn disco-artiesten ook niet artiesten die zelf optreden of willen gaan optreden. Die nemen een plaat op in de studio en dan bekijken ze het wel verder. En de platenmaatschappij die had het pas door toen in het hele land nummers van haar LP in de disco's populair begonnen te worden. Iets wat zeker niet te danken is aan diezelfde platenmaatschappij, want mond-op-mond reclame.
Madonna Underground exclusive.
Madonna heeft het helemaal zelf gedaan. Hier is Holiday nog een keer. Nou, zijn we gekomen aan het einde van dit interview. Er zijn nog een paar dingen die we eigenlijk best wel zouden willen vragen aan Madonna. In Physical Attraction zing je over dat iemand alleen maar om je geeft vanwege je uiterlijk. Heb je daar zelf al wat mee te maken gehad?
well, I think most people are attracted to you first off physically, and then they get to know you and decide if they really like you, if there's something there. You can't get past that, and if you're beautiful, then you can't get past people noticing you for that. So, but I've never had someone just like me for my looks, so I wouldn't know.
Zijn er zelf artiesten waardoor je geïnspireerd bent? Muzikaal dan natuurlijk.
When I was younger, I was inspired by a lot of the
Madonna
Motown
Underground
groups.
exclusive.
The Supremes, the Shirelles, the Marvelettes, and all the girls that sang. Martha Reeves and Diana Ross, and Lulu and Nancy Sinatra, like really bad girls, like girls that had images like that, but had really sweet voices. And I think they were my inspiration when I was younger. Now, when I'm older, I don't really have any female artists that I really look up to. All the people that I admire in the music business, I think, except Annie Lennox, I admire her. I admire her attitude more than anything. It's mostly men that I admire. Mm-hmm. So,
like who?
Well, obviously Michael Jackson, right? Because he's a complete artist, I like when you get the feeling
Madonna Underground exclusive.
that they're good at other things, that they're good all the way around,
Ja, wie is er nou geen fan van Michael Jackson? Hoe komt het dat je op je eerste LP maar liefst gebruik hebt gemaakt van 3 producers?
Well, the first single I worked with Mark Kamen as the DJ at Danceteria. It was his first experience in the studio, and I didn't think that he was going to be capable of doing a whole album for me. So I did put that single on my album. Then I decided to work with Reggie Lucas, who is of M. Tume Lucas fame, and they worked on people like Stephanie Mills, Roberta Flack, Phyllis Hyman, and they had a lot of hits. And I wanted to work with someone like a Chic,
Madonna Underground exclusive.
where they were musicians, and they had a lot of R&B and black success. But plus, they had worked with female vocalists who were really great, and I wanted to be pushed in that way. But we got about 3/4 of the way through the album, and I just felt like he didn't really understand my personality and was making everything just too slick sounding. So that's when I brought in Jelly Bean, who I had known for a while, and I knew, he, at that point to me, he had a reputation of like taking songs and making them better, remixing them, making them more danceable. And
Madonna Underground exclusive.
And so, I said, look, you've got to fix my album for me. So he came in and started doing overdubs and remixes on a lot of songs like Burning Up and Lucky Star. And I had one more song to do and I hadn't done it. So I said, let's do a song together. You produce it. And that's when we did Holiday.
Mark Canens dus, de DJ die versierde bij Danceteria. Reggie Lucas, die we kennen van de werk voor Stephanie Mills en Phyllis Hyman. En John Jellybean Benitez, die zo'n beetje alles wat in onze Decibel Dance Report staat geremixed heeft. Ook de vriend trouwens van Madonna. Maar dat blijft even onder ons natuurlijk. Tot zover het interview met Madonna, dankjewel. En we weten dat je in maart een nieuwe LP op gaat nemen. En ik heb toen al gehoord tijdens het interview dat ze al diverse producers heeft uitgezocht. Zoals Nile Rodgers en Trevor Horn. Dus wacht maar.
Madonna Underground exclusive.
Wie weet hoor je haar nieuwe LP als eerst hier. We gaan dit afsluiten met de voorstelling van de nieuwe single. Dat is het laatste nummer wat we nog niet gedraaid hebben van haar debuut-LP, Borderline. Het komt uit als opvolger van Holiday en gaat op 12 inch verschijnen in uiteraard een remix door John Jellybean Benitez.